Field of Screams is the 40th episode of the first season of Sabrina the Animated Series. 40 episodes come around pretty quickly. We're not too far off from the end, actually. There are a total of 50 episodes, so nearly there. A few more weeks, 10 more weeks, and then we're done with this season. And based on episodes like Field of Screams, it will definitely be something I'll miss, because this is a pretty great episode. It did get a little slow and repetitive on a couple of occasions, but we have a few different things happening, different to the average episode, I mean, and that meant that I rather enjoyed it. So I won't give any major spoilers for what happens in the episode, but I will mention what the magical element is. Sabrina, Harvey, they're all playing baseball, and they're not doing great. They're not really performing as well as they'd like to be. And Sabrina decides to use some magic, and she magics up some teammates. We have some monsters, creatures, and I absolutely love the design of them. They do kind of look human, but when Harvey and the others are looking at them, they don't look like monsters. Only Sabrina and Chloe can see them looking like monsters. And I thought that was quite interesting visually, because we see them in different, or from different perspectives, which I thought was quite good fun. And they start to play on the team. Everything's going really well. And then it doesn't. And I won't spoil any more than that. I won't say what happens or what the problems are. But it doesn't go the way Sabrina planned. And one of the biggest messages here, I think, is so beautiful. That when you become so wrapped up in winning, you don't get to actually enjoy the game. And this is what Sabrina is experiencing, because what she cares about is having these monsters play the game so that they win, even if she doesn't get to play properly, even if Harvey doesn't get to enjoy the game. As long as they win, that's all she cares about. And obviously, what's the point of playing if you're not going to enjoy it? And this is an important message. And I don't play sports, but I do think that being reminded that the journey is sometimes even more important than the destination is definitely something that I think many of us, myself absolutely included, can do well to remember. What is the point in hitting all of your goals if you don't enjoy the journey to get there? And I feel like it's so easy to become so wrapped up in goals, particularly if you're numbers driven. And here we have a reminder that Sabrina was numbers driven. She was driven by the score. She needed those numbers to keep going up and up and up. But if she's not enjoying the process, really, what's the point? Because when you reflect, when you look back with your memories, there's no happiness there. And Sabrina is probably one of the last people involved to actually realise this. I think the pacing of delivering the message was brilliant. I think it played out really well. As I said, it did get repetitive on quite a few occasions, and we had quite a few times where we were just watching the characters play a ball for several minutes at a time, and I quite like baseball, but within the context of this animation, I feel like we didn't need that just with silence. Well, there was music, but no real dialogue or anything, and it didn't really move the narrative forward as such. So I think they could have been a little bit quicker, a little bit neater, but in general, Field of Screams was an enjoyable episode. Very well animated. We get to see the characters wearing different costumes. They're in their baseball uniforms. Absolutely delightful to watch. And Salem was adorable as well. And Quigley was watching and cheering on, which I liked. Field of Screams is generally a pretty decent episode, and one that I did enjoy.